Alright, so listen, today we're diving into the world of Disney music. Recently, I found myself at Disney World and at Disney on Ice, just part of having a 5-year-old. Promise I'm not becoming a Disney adult, but some Disney music slaps, and some of it, well, it doesn't. But today, we're going to dive into the best Disney soundtracks. And I'm rating it the only way it makes sense, with mice. 1 mouse means, please never play this again. And 5 mice, well, that means I'm willing to add it to my Spotify playlist. Do I have any formal music training? Nope, but I do have opinions, questionable taste, and a childhood that was influenced by poorly rewound VHS tapes. Let's get into it. First up, we've got Dumbo, an absolute classic. This movie was definitely part of my childhood. This is the kind of movie that feels like it was hand-delivered by Walt Disney just to make kids cry. Musically, it's warm, like a crackly record that your grandparents are playing for you. Meanwhile, they're telling you how everything was so much simpler way back when. It's charming, but it's definitely dated. Like if a soundtrack wore clothes, this one would have a newsboy cap and suspenders on. But let's talk about the Crows. I mean, are they problematic by today's standards? Yeah, definitely. But are they also absolute badasses with the best song in the movie? Yeah, they are. When I See an Elephant Fly goes way harder than it has any right to. Those harmonies, chef's kiss. The rest of the soundtrack, it's cute, it's nostalgic, but it's not exactly playlist worthy. This one gets 3 mice. 1 for the Crows, 1 for Dumbo being the original emotional terrorist of Disney movies, and 1 for the lullaby scene that still makes me tear up as a grown adult. A real adult, not a Disney adult. Don't judge me. Next up, The Jungle Book. This is basically Disney's version of a one-hit wonder. This movie is literally like, imagine buying a CD and you love one song and the rest of it's just elevator music. Now listen, The Bare Necessities by Baloo, absolute jam. I don't care how old you are. That song comes on and you're automatically vibing like a bear with no job, no rent, and no responsibilities. It's catchy, it's fun, and honestly, it's the only reason that this movie isn't just getting 1 mouse. King Louie's I Want to Be Like You, it's fine. But it's always felt to me like somebody dared Disney try to make a jazz song for kids. And they did, and it is what it is. The Vultures singing That's What Friends Are For, kind of forgettable. They look like the Beatles, but they sound like they're just trying to hit their line quota before they clock out of work. This one gets 2 mice. 1 for Baloo, and 1 for the fact that the bare necessities is the motto that I wish I could follow for life. But, alas, capitalism. Sorry, Mowgli, gotta pay your taxes. Robin Hood. Now listen, this is peak Disney soundtrack. Go ahead, fight me in the comments. I'm ready for it. Robin Hood is low-key the best Disney animated film ever made. And the music is absolute perfection. Odalali is a song that you can play on a road trip, on a lazy Sunday, or at 2 a.m. while you're contemplating some questionable life choices. And Love is the most underrated Disney ballad of all time. It's soft, it's dreamy, it hits you right in the feels, but not in an obnoxious way like a lot of Disney songs. Like if Disney songs were people, Love would be that friend that actually listens to you instead of just waiting for their turn to talk. Every single song in this cartoon just feels like it fits. There's no filler, there's no skips, it's just pure vibes all the way through. 5 out of 5 mice. No debate. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. That's my hill, and I'll die on it. But not in Nottingham. The Little Mermaid. 3 mice. 1 for the music, 1 for Ariel being a fellow ginger, and 1 for my childhood nostalgia. This is the first Disney tape I ever had as a kid. And by had, I mean I had a bootleg copy. We weren't really rolling the dough back then. Pretty sure my parents rented The Little Mermaid from the local video store, and we made a copy of it because I like to watch it so much. I just want to give a shout out to that VHS tape with the shaky lines during Under the Sea. You helped shape my childhood. Speaking of songs, Part of Your World is an absolute anthem for anybody who's wanted more out of life. Ariel wasn't just singing. She was auditioning for American Idol. And Simon Cowell, he wouldn't even have anything snarky to say. Under the Sea, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But it always kind of felt to me like Sebastian was just gaslighting Ariel into settling. He was all like, look at these fish. Look at this water. Look at this seaweed. Who wants legs? Legs are overrated. Look at my legs. The rest of the soundtrack, it's fine. It's whatever. But it's definitely not on Robin Hood level. Again, 3 mice. 1 for Ariel, 1 for my bootleg copy of the tape as a kid, and 1 for Kiss the Girl, which is at the same time romantic and kind of creepy. Aladdin. Alright, don't come at me for this, but Aladdin gets 2 mice. I know, it's a classic. It's a work of art. People absolutely love the music in this movie. I've heard it all. You know what people don't love? Being forced to watch your best friend perform A Whole New World any chance your elementary school music teacher got. True story. From like 3rd grade to 6th grade, My elementary school teacher made my buddy Pete and another friend of ours perform this song in front of the whole class any chance she got. Christmas, a whole new world. Spring, a whole new world. Random Tuesday, a whole new world. And listen, they didn't half-ass it either. We're talking full eye contact, dramatic hand gestures. It felt like the girl was basically auditioning for Disney on Ice. And Pete, well, Pete just looked like he was trying to survive till recess. So yeah, the soundtrack is fine. A Friend Like Me, very fun. Prince Ali, very catchy. I just can't separate it from that childhood trauma. So 2 mice. One for Robin Williams making anything better, and one for my buddy Pete surviving his elementary school theater career. The Lion King, Disney's golden child. This movie made an entire generation fear wildebeest stampedes. Musically, it's good. Not great, but good. Hakuna Matata is the star of the show. That song's an absolute gem. It's catchy, it's fun, and it basically invented the TikTok life hack mentality way before TikTok was even a thing. Circle of Life, an iconic opening scene. But if we're being honest, does anybody actually listen to the whole thing? Once the sun rises and Rafiki holds up Simba like he's the newest iPhone, we all kind of tune it out. And Be Prepared, it's fine, but it's honestly just Scar being dramatic and singing about murder like he's auditioning for some kind of Disney metal band. 3 mice for this one. One for Hakuna Matata, one for nostalgia, and one because the soundtrack at least tried to make Elton John cool to kids. A Goofy movie is a millennial masterpiece. It's not technically a Disney classic, but if you were a kid in the 90s, that movie was everything. The music, absolute jams. Stand out, and eye to eye could have topped any chart. Disney just didn't recognize Powerline for the pure talented star he was. But here's the thing. The rest of the soundtrack is pretty forgettable. Like, do you remember the song that Goofy was singing while he was camping? I didn't think so. This one gets 2 mice. One for Powerline being the prince of animated pop, and one for Stand Out, carrying this movie's entire musical credibility. Frozen. Look, I get it. Frozen is a masterpiece. It made Disney $1 bazillion. Kids love it. But you know who doesn't love it? Parents who had to listen to the soundtrack every single day for months. My kid was obsessed. Every car ride, let it go. Every morning, let it go. There's nothing like trying to just sip on your iced coffee while listening to Elsa belt out her existential crisis for the 400th time. Honestly, outside of Let It Go, the rest of the soundtrack's just kind of, whatever. Do you want to build a snowman? Yeah, I mean, it's cute until you've heard it enough times that you're just wishing death by melting upon Olaf. So this one's going to get 2 mice. One for Elsa's undeniable vocal power, and one because, thank God, the soundtrack died down in our house before I lost my ever-loving mind. Moana. Now this is a modern-day Disney soundtrack. Every single song slaps. There's no skip button needed here. How far I'll go? Absolute anthem. Moana's not just dreaming of adventure here, she's absolutely manifesting it. If you've never belted this song out while driving, or even living, you're welcome. I mean, The Rock just singing about how awesome he is. Peak Disney. And Shiny? I mean, I didn't have loving a song by a giant egotistical crab on my to-do list, but here we are. Eat your heart out, Sebastian. 4 mice. It's near perfect. The only reason it's not getting 5 is because I need Robin Hood and my next pick to stay at the top of the list. I'm sorry. Moana, you're amazing, but there's mouse hierarchy at play here. Coco. Listen, Robin Hood is my nostalgic favorite, but Coco is a modern masterpiece. It's become my absolute favorite. The soundtrack is perfect. Like, I'll cry if you play Remember Me slightly off key perfect. And Poco Loco is fun and upbeat, makes you want to dance. Even if you're like me and have the rhythm of a potato, The World Es Mi Familia feels like pure joy. But Remember Me, that song should come with a warning label. May cause sudden emotional breakdowns. The final scene with Miguel and his grandmother, I'm still emotionally wrecked thinking about it. 5 out of 5 mice. No notes here. If you don't cry at all during the last Remember Me scene, you might be a sociopath. There you have it. My definitive Disney song rankings. You want me to dive into more Disney music? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, give this video a like, share it with some friends. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Unless you're going to talk trash on Robin Hood or Coco, then we're going to fight. Stay on my ground on those. Now, I'll see you later. I'm going to go listen to Odelay for like the 5,000th time. Peace.